Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of the Wrestling Forum. We are live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is Michael Fletcher alongside Dee Woodson and Michael Bullock. We are awaiting the arrival of Anthony Florio. He is a little late tonight. This is very unlike Anthony. But you do know that he has been having issues with his computer. Maybe there might be some kind of issues with it right now. If he does come in, not only will we cover on Hell in a Cell, but Anthony was going to be hosting the Bound for Glory portion of the show. If he's not able to do it tonight, then we'll push it off for tomorrow night on Ridiculously Raw, hosted by him at 11 p.m. Eastern. But until then, we're going to start it off with Hell in a Cell with Dee and Michael. And we are going to do it, guys, right now. We started it off with the first fight of the night, as it was Roman Reigns versus Jay Uso I Quit match inside of the Hell in a Cell for the Universal Championship. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout in almost 30 minutes, 29-20, and still the Universal Champion, the Tribal Chief, the Big Dog, Roman Reigns. Oh my God, what a match! I mean, the storytelling in this was top notch. Without a doubt, this was one of the best storyline driven matches we've ever seen. And that was a lot of drama, a lot of Shakespearean drama, a lot of action, a lot of violence. It was everything you expected in a Hell in a Cell match. And with the storyline that this was, now I know a lot of people are questioning WWE, saying, why was this the first fight of the night? Why was this not the main event? If you really think about it, if you're going to start a Hell in a Cell event, and the first match was going to be Hell in a Cell, why not let this be the first fight of the night? Why not let this be your opening contest of the event? And they literally tore the house down. This was without a doubt maybe the best of the three, and as we predicted it. So for me, I gotta give this. This is easily for me 4.5 to 4 3/4. I don't know if it gets the full 5. You can make an argument for 5, but this was easily 4.5 to 4 3/4, and without a doubt, maybe the best out of the 3 Hell in a Cell matches. There's really nothing more to add. This had everything you wanted in a match: the drama, the psychology, the action and the violence, inside the ring, outside, and right around the Hell in a Cell. They didn't get out of the cell, but they did come pretty close. They were in the outside of the ring part of it, where there's not much wiggle room in that outside ring. But what a match. Unbelievable. Jimmy Uso came out begging Roman to stop, and Jay pretty much gave up to protect his brother. To protect his brother. My God, what a match. Michael Bullock, I think there's really nothing more to add. You know what? We were begging for this to be the main of the event. We got it as an opening match, the first fight of the night, and WWE gave us a monster home run with this match. Holy cow.
Yeah, they wanted to start off Hell in a Cell with a bang, and boy, howdy, it really did start with a bang. This was easily the fight of the night, hands down. 4.5, and I'm actually going to give it 4.5 to 5. I mean, the action was good. The storytelling was really good. Especially near the end. And there were times, Fletch, and I don't know how you feel, but I felt a little uncomfortable. I mean, especially with the things that Roman was doing. He was willing to go as far as
He
he could.
he went to a place that I think none of us thought he could go. He
And
literally tried to kill his own flesh and blood. He did.
and and the thing is, Fletch, I mean, he even told Paul Heyman to shut up. I'm like, nobody has ever done that to Paul Heyman. Even Heyman was he had a concerned look on his face.
Because
Like,
I think Heyman had quote unquote compassion, because even he thought that this was Roman, you're going to places that I I don't even know if even Heyman would even advocate for this. And there might be some dissension among the ranks with Heyman and Roman, but we'll see.
it's almost like he was saying, like, I mean, look, Roman, I want you to do some terrible things, but I don't think you would go. I didn't want you to go as far as you did. And and Roman even took it a step further, where I mean, the referee was trying to stop the match because Jay Uso was helpless. He couldn't even continue, and he was like, "No, no, no, ref, we're not stopping the match. Not until Jay says I quit." And Roman wasn't having any of it, and he literally threw Ryan Tran out of the ring. And I was like saying to myself, "Yeah, that's a fine and a suspension. I mean, well, maybe a fine actually, because there's an old saying: you can argue with the ref, but you never ever you never put your hands on an official, let alone attack them." I mean, isn't that right, Fletch? I mean, you can argue with the ref, but you
Yep.
never do what Roman did.
But the problem is, in a Hell in a Cell, the true meaning of a Hell in a Cell. Let's just wash away that bull crap we saw with Seth Rollins. It's no disqualifications. It's no
Yeah,
countouts. So
yeah,
technically, if he wanted it to rough up the referee, unfortunately, he has every right to do it, and we
and
can't
he and
say crap about it.
and he can't disqualify him.
Nope.
If this was a regular match,
Yeah.
then we're talking a different story.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, man, this was. But anywho, this was great, and yeah, 4.5. I'm actually gonna give it the vibe. 4.5 to 5 is my rating. So we got Anthony Florio here. Florio, uh, do we want to give it to Florio, or should I just give it to Didi?
Yeah, we'll give it to Anthony.
Yeah, give
Anthony,
it to me. I want it. Give
all
it to
right.
me.
Okay, you got it. You got it. Relax. We're gonna start. Then we'll do this. We'll start off with the Hell in a Cell recap, and then we'll do the Bound for Glory, and you'll get to host that part.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay.
So Roman
All right,
Reigns versus Roman
Give me your
Reigns.
ratings. Give me your ratings.
All right. Hold on. I gave it 4.5 to 4.75. Michael Bullock gave it 4.5 to the full 5. Those are the ratings. Now you go.
Okay. I'm just excited that you know me. So I apologize for my lateness. I had to take care of some house cleaning on my end, but anyways, exactly. I mean, this was 4.5 to 5. Didn't I tell you all that this was going to be, the most emotionally charged Hell in a Cell match that we ever saw? I mean, now, is it the greatest Hell in a Cell match of all time? No, not quite. However, it will go down as the most emotionally charged Hell in a Cell match of all time. I mean, you saw the emotion. You saw Roman. I mean, wow. I mean, this was never going to be a technical showdown or an exchange of exciting spots. This was all about the story being told between the two individuals in the ring. Being able to hear every word they said to each other made everything feel so much more personal. It added weight to an already heavy situation. Some of the same beats were repeated from their previous encounter, but the brutality of this bout made it so much more impactful. This is one of the best storylines WWE has done in 2020, and it's because Jay Uso and Roman Reigns have made it special. Was this the best Hell in a Cell match ever? No, but it may have been the best story told inside it. This was what sports entertainment is all about. The physicality was just as important as the tale. So, well done, both men. That was incredible. And now I've heard rumors about Roman Reigns and the Usos possibly having some sort of a faction. We'll see if that takes any step further come Friday night on SmackDown. But for right now, this was the fight of the night, no doubt about it. 4.5 to 5. I'm with you, Bullock, on that rating. No doubt about it. So there's really nothing left for me to say on this. So I believe I'm all caught up now. So
we toss it to
let's move on.
No, that's all right. Now we toss it to Dee Dee Woodson. So Dee Dee, it's yours, my dear.
Yeah, I can pretty much kind of agree with the rating. This was an interesting way to start off a pay-per-view. I mean, you didn't really expect to have the main title to start it off, but it is what it is. It was definitely a great storytelling, and I think the storytelling actually outdid the match itself. So yeah, I'll give it the same rating as the guys. So not much more I'm going to add. They pretty much said everything. So it's yours, Fletch.
All right, and then now we will go into the next fight of the night, which was Elias going one-on-one with Jeff Hardy. Elias wins the match by disqualification at 7 minutes and 50 seconds because Jeff Hardy grabbed the guitar from Elias and docked him with it. Well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Anthony Florio, you lead off on this match.
Only fitting because I'm the Raw guy here, but I'm just going to say it like this. This cool down fight, that's basically what this was. It was going, like I said the other night, it was going to be hard for anyone to follow Roman Reigns and Jay Uso. Why that wasn't the main event is beyond me, but, typical gobbledygook WWE booking on their end, but whatever. But anyways, it was going to be hard for anyone to follow Roman and Uso. So Hardy and Elias were fighting an uphill battle before the ref even called for the bell. I'll try to be fair when judging this bout. As good as Hardy and Elias are, this did not feel like the best they could do. This bout would have made more sense on an episode of Monday Night Raw, especially with a disqualification finish. This feud is obviously going to continue, so at least this ending prevented either man from having to eat a pin right away. So you basically had to protect both guys. So this was one of the worst fights of the night, if not the worst fight of the night. I could probably only give this 2 stars for the effort. So feud must continue. So nothing more to say. Phenom, Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm going to give it about 1.5 to 2. I mean, it was fine for what it was, but obviously, I mean, you needed that cool down match after an amazing Hell in a Cell match to kick it off, and this was the cool down match. So it was fine for what it was. So there's nothing more to say. Dee Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I could probably give it about a 2. I mean, this was good. I mean, it ended the way it needed to be ended. Jeff said he would do anything. So, if Elias pulled out the guitar, he was going to use it. So that's basically what happened. So I'm not entirely surprised with the finish. But yeah, this is certainly far from over as far as this goes. So not much more I'm going to add. It's yours, Fletch.
Solid outcome, no doubt about it. Good match. I mean, 2.5 stars. I'll give you that, guys. Could have it been a better outcome? Yeah, obviously, but they did want to protect them, so they did what they needed it to do, and now we just move right on along. So next up we had was Otis versus The Miz. The Money in the Bank on the line. The winner of the bout in 7 minutes and 25 seconds. The Miz, meaning The Miz has won the Money in the Bank contract. He now has it in possession. And now, okay. Now, everybody's wondering what happens with the contract now. Basically, the contract now goes to The Miz. But he only has the remaining time that from now until the next Money in the Bank pay-per-view event to cash in the contract. Meaning he does not get another year. So it does not start from day one. He picks up where Otis left off. What really is going to grind my gears, or I know it's grinding a lot of people's gears, well, not that much, is that A, Tucker was the one who cost Otis the Money in the Bank. Tucker turned on his quote unquote brother, turned on him, and basically got the Money in the Bank contract on him. So Tucker now has betrayed his own bro. That means Otis and Tucker are probably going to go into a rivalry now, but how's that going to work? Tucker's on Raw, Otis is on SmackDown. There's no logic there. And on top of that, for The Miz, now The Miz has the Money in the Bank, which means WWE title and Monday Night Raw, watch out. Because now The Miz has the Money in the Bank. Even though he mentioned the Universal title and said that that WWE or Universal Champions, you're now on notice. Problem is, I believe the contract is only brand exclusive. So that means The Miz cannot go after the Universal title. He's only allowed to go after the WWE title now. So, Michael Bullock, it's all yours. I thought there was going to be a big backlash over the fact that The Miz got the Money in the Bank. Believe it or not, Michael Bullock, there's no backlash. There's a lot of celebrating in the IWC tonight that The Miz is Mr. Money in the Bank now.
Yeah, I thought that there would actually be some backlash because, I mean, look, The Miz has had the Money in the Bank contract before, and as soon as I saw him win it, I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense, because he's already won it before. Why does he need it again? But anywho, there is no backlash, and oh, by the way, before I get into it, there's a certain somebody here that picked The Miz to win it. I wonder who that could be. Oh, it was our own Cerebral Viper, Mr. Good Old MF Michael Fletcher, who picked him. And he was the only one because me, Florio, and Dee Woodson, we all went with Otis. So the three of us are going to have to eat that slice of humble pie. And I'll say it to you, Fletch, I will enjoy that slice of humble pie just for you. So, anywho, I'll give this about maybe 2.5 for the effort. Yeah, I mean, Tucker turning heel, turning on his brother. I didn't see that coming. I don't know if anybody else, any of my compadres, saw it coming. But I think a heel turn for Tucker maybe could do him wonders. But we'll have to wait and see on that. But yeah, The Miz now has the Money in the Bank contract, and he can go after the WWE Championship. When? Who knows? So there's really nothing more to add. So Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, this is classic Vince McMahon. That we already put the tag team in a split on 2 different shows. Now we're going to have them turn their backs on each other. Whatever. Okay. Well, I'll give the match 2.5. The match was going really good until Vince decided to let's turn Tucker against Otis. So yeah, I'm not going to add too much more. I mean, I wasn't impressed with how the ending went at all. So it's yours much.
This really got under me. Like, this really got under my skin. And I was not happy one bit. I was furious with this decision. But, WWE made the call. They pulled the trigger on it. And I had a sneaky feeling that this was going to happen because I heard they really. Because I think what happened was they wanted it to put the money in the bank on Otis, and they wanted him to win the title with fans. But because of the fact there are no fans coming in anytime soon, they kind of wasted away an opportunity for Otis. So I think WWE realized, we made a mistake here. We can't double back now. What do we do? That's when they started doing this elaborate plan to try to get The Miz the money in the bank. Now a lot of people are thinking, oh my god, now that The Miz has it, that means they're grooming him to be the next champion, right? I don't think so, folks. Not especially after what happened tonight. I don't think The Miz is going to come anywhere close to that title anytime soon. Not just Universal. If they even think about trying to have him go after the Universal title, but now even WWE looks like it's now impossible because of what just happened. We'll get into that in a little bit. So, this was an incredible, this was a great, it's a great success for The Miz, but the way that they did it, the way they executed it, we'll have to wait and see. Now the question becomes, what happens next? Because obviously Otis is going to want revenge, and he already went after Tucker. So either Otis gets traded to Raw, and they let that happen. Maybe this is where Mandy might get in. Because remember, with everything that happened, Miz probably thought, okay, now I got what I wanted. I destroyed Otis. I took the money in the bank. It's a done deal. Now I can focus on the title. I think Mandy's going to try to find a loophole, get Otis to Raw. That money in the bank might not be safe. But here's the other thing. Tucker, you better watch your back now. Because of the fact that you got an angry Otis coming after you. And you know you got the WWE Universe on Otis' side now. More than ever before. Otis is going to become the biggest sympathetic figure now on WWE. And you can't do Big E. Because here's the thing. On SmackDown, I believe Big E's going to be the guy to go after the Universal title. So you can't have him go after it. The only thing I can think of is Miz gets the title after he cashes Money in the Bank. And there could be a loophole somewhere where maybe Otis wins a match, gets a title shot. Is it possible that we could see Otis as maybe a future WWE champion? I don't know. I mean, this is just theories that's running through my head right now. Anthony Florio, what says you?
What says me? I'll tell you, MF. Without a live crowd, Otis has lost what made him a breakout star in 2019. He was over because the fans dictated it. Without those cheers, he doesn't feel like a big star anymore. Breaking up Heavy Machinery was a mistake, and they are now on different brands. How are they going to feud after Tucker's turn unless WWE just ignores its own rules, which they always do? We'll see. Match was nothing special, and Bullock, you were wondering if any of us saw the heel turn coming from a mile away, I did. I saw it coming. Yep. It became
I had a
obvious.
hunch it would be. I had a hunch it would be you.
It became obvious as soon as John Morrison was kicked out of ringside. The minute that happened, that's when the light bulb went off in my head. I'm like, Tucker's going to turn. I know it. I know it. And sure enough, I was right. At least The Miz has the contract now. Whether he successfully cashes it in will be interesting to watch. And MF, you said the IWC is happy about this? That's news to me. I'm like, I didn't even think they would actually be happy about Miz of all people holding that thing. I
Yeah,
don't understand that.
because of the fact, and I was reading a lot of articles, especially on Facebook, and a lot of people was dumping on Otis, saying that he was unworthy, undeserving of the Money in the Bank, and that they're all now clamoring for a Miz WWE title run now.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I can certainly understand that. I mean, it's been 9 years since he's held it. I mean,
But the last time he was WWE champion was one of the worst reigns we've ever had in the company. I mean,
true.
God forbid, we had one of the worst main events in WrestleMania history.
This is true. You're right. But we're just gonna have to wait and see what they do with him. But that's an interesting scenario you came up with. But we'll just have to wait and see on it. But I'll give it a solid 2.5 for the effort. I'll be nice on that. So there's really nothing more to say. I mean, with Miz holding that thing now, I mean, second time. I mean, this is the first time since 2007, but the situation was different. Mr. Kennedy, who won the contract at WrestleMania 23, he was groomed to be the next World Heavyweight Champion. And MF knows this better than anybody because MF was a huge Kennedy mark back in the day. And I know he still is today, even though he's not doing anything. But, I mean, I remember MF was a huge Kennedy mark back in that time. And I remember how he marked when he won the contract at WrestleMania 23. And he was like, he's going to be the next champion. He's going to be the next champion. And I'm like, yeah, he's very likely going to be. But then he ended up getting hurt. And, well, we all know what happened. He had to put the contract up. They put it on Edge. And look what happened to Edge. If Edge could do it, Miz could probably do it too. But like MF said, especially after what happened tonight, it's probably not going to be anytime soon. It may not even be sometime this year. It might be. We might have to wait until sometime next year, for goodness sakes. But we'll have to wait and see. But it is what it is. So 2.5 stars. So nothing more to say. Bullock started this, right? Yeah, Bullock started this.
Yes, Bullock started it.
Alrighty then. Then we just move on to what is the next Hell in a Cell match, and with an outcome that I know Michael Bullock's going to be very pleased with.
Yes, indeed. It was for the women's SmackDown women's title on the line. It was Bayley versus Sasha Banks, the winner of the bout, in 26 minutes, 35 seconds, and new SmackDown Women's Champion, the Boss, Sasha Banks. She finally wins the title, and yes, a Grand Slam champion. For the Boss. History was made in the Thunderdome tonight. Dee Woodson, it's all yours. You called it. Anthony called it. Michael Bullock called it. I was holding out thinking that either there was going to be interference, there was rumors of Eva Marie possibly getting involved. It didn't happen. We have a new champion. It's yours.
Yes, we have a new champion, and I'm not surprised all the stunts they pulled during this match, all the things they pulled out from underneath the ring, including dragging Bayley's chair through the locked door. This was really a very well done women's match. I mean, these two really, they took each other to the limits. But we got the outcome that we should have got, and we finally got her to shut Bailey up, at least for now. This feud's far from over. I'm sure we're gonna have even more with these two, but for right now, at least until Friday, we have a little bit of retribution for Sasha on everything that Bailey has done. I'm going to give the match about 4 stars. I thought it was very well done. Maybe it's not the top match of the night, but it's up there. So not much more I'm going to add. It's yours, Fletch.
4 to 4.5 for me. This was an excellent matchup, no doubt about it. It was the big payoff. You get it. Sasha wins the title. She finally realizes her dream, and yeah, this is a great matchup. So there's really nothing more to add. Anthony, it is yours.
Didn't I tell you that Sasha was going to be the one that ultimately was going to dethrone Bailey? I told you. I told y'all it was going to happen. And sure enough, I was right about this. 4.25, 4.5 stars. I would say second best fight of the night. Roman Reigns and Jay Uso may have told a more intriguing and emotional story, but Bailey and Sasha Banks made much better use of the Hell in a Cell stipulation to put on a violent and competitive bout. The way they used the various weapons they found under the ring was both creative and brutal. They even used the ring itself to inflict as much damage as possible. These two have had many classic encounters over the years, and this was another one to add to the list, which, of course, we all know on that list is, of course, what put the NXT women's division on the map, the match in Brooklyn, 2015, and then a couple months later when they had their Iron Woman match at TakeOver Respect. Clips from this match will be in their eventual Hall of Fame video packages. There were a couple of odd moments, but as a whole, this match exceeded what were already high expectations. Sasha winning the title was the right call. I 100% agree with it, especially if this feud is going to continue, and you know it will continue. You know Bailey's gonna invoke the rematch clause, maybe on a future SmackDown. It probably will be a future SmackDown, considering what the next pay-per-view on the pipeline is. And you know why I'm smirking right now. I'm chuckling right now because, well, it only happens to be my favorite event of the year.
Hey, it's not just special to you, but it's special to me for a different reason.
A certain phenom, a man that you've looked up to your entire life, Bullock. I think we all know that reasoning. A man who's celebrating 30 years in the business.
Oh yeah.
Yep, and I know, and I'm sure you probably started with that 30 days of Undertaker stuff, and great.
Yeah, I just finished watching it.
Great way to start it off. Yeah, great way to start it off with that that Untold with the Undertaker and Randy Orton. But that's next month. It'll be all about the Phenom and the Undertaker, and I'm hopeful that we'll get to do the brand thing again. Hopefully, it'll be Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. So me, MF, and Bullock can battle for the bragging rights once again, and Dee Dee will have to be the house mom to keep us in line.
You know, she will definitely lay down the law on this one. She ain't gonna have any shenanigans like last year. I'm pretty sure of it. House mom is Den mom is gonna come out this time around.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. So
it comes out during the regular show several times too.
This is true. But we'll see what happens with that. But future SmackDown would probably be when the earliest possible rematch would be. But then again, I mean, TLC is not until December the 20th. That's a ways off. And I would love this. I mean, we've already seen them in a Hell in a Cell. I'm hopeful that this feud will go into TLC. And if it does, I want to see these two throw down in a TLC match. That's what I want to see. But then again, I think all of us would want to see that. So, and if you do that, we're in for another fun one. That's all there is to say. So, 4.25, 4.5 stars. Sasha becomes the Grand Slam champion. She gets the title that's eluded her. NXT Women's title, check. Raw Women's title, check. Women's Tag Team titles, check. And now SmackDown Women's title, check. She's a Grand Slammer, folks. She's a Grand Slammer along with Bayley. And I think her and Bayley are the only Grand Slammers. I don't believe anybody else is a Grand Slam. I mean, Becky and Charlotte, the other 4 horsewomen are right there, but they just need the tag team titles. Oh, no, Becky never won the NXT belt. That's right. Charlotte did. So Charlotte just needs a tag title, and Charlotte can be a Grand Slammer. So, but nonetheless, congratulations, Sasha Banks. Well-deserved. The only thing I'm hopeful for, and I'm praying to God for this, give her a long run with it. Give her a somewhat of a decent run with it. Don't take it off of her after like 2 weeks, for the love of God. Don't do that, please. You did that way too many times when she had the Raw belt, so don't screw her over on SmackDown. Come on. It's the land of opportunity. MF will tell you firsthand. So that's all there is to say. Congrats, Sasha. So, Michael Bullock, you've waited for over a year for this, and tonight you finally got it. The one thing that Bullock has been wanting for a long time, Bayley has finally been dethroned as the SmackDown Women's Champion. Ding dong, hello. At least for now, the witch is dead.
Yeah, ding dong, the witch is dead, Bayley. So all your trash talking, all the things you've done, well, it came back and bit you. And yeah, you reap what you sow. So yeah, 4.25, 4.5. This was definitely another solid, really good match here. I mean, what else would you expect when these two are in the ring? And they certainly did deliver. So yeah, I mean, there's really nothing more to say. I mean, and I agree with Florio. Give Sasha Banks a nice long run with the title instead of like 2 weeks and then, oh, we're gonna take the title off of her. That's happened way too many times on Raw. So don't do this on SmackDown. That's the only thing I'm asking WWE to do, because if they pull this crap again, watch out. I'm gonna go on a major Phenom rant, and yeah, it's not gonna be pretty. So nothing more to say, Fletch. Let's move on.
And with that said, guys, we now move on to the next match of the night. The United States title was on the line. We might blow by this. I don't know. It was Bobby Lashley versus one member of the Retribution, Slapjack, and Bobby Lashley wins the match in 3 minutes and 23 seconds, successfully defending 3 minutes and 50 seconds, I should say, successfully defending the the United States title. I'm not even interested in talking about this match. I mean, it was there. Lashley wins. I'm guessing none of you guys want to talk about this either.
Long story short, worst fight of the night, dud
Yep.
for one. Go.
Yep. All right. Main event. Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship inside Hell in a Cell. Winner of the bout in 30 minutes and 35 seconds.
Don't say it. Don't say it, please. No.
And
No.
WWE Champion
No.
for the 14th time.
Son of
The Legend Killer, the Apex Predator, Randy Orton.
Ooh.
History has been made at the Thunderdome tonight. This was as crazy as it could be. This was a good match, solid fight, no doubt about it. This is what you. It was a little bit of everything that we got, and they even gave us a big moment. They fought on top of the cell. That must have been a treat for the fans of the Thunderdome, man. That is an absolute insane moment to see. To see them fight literally at the top of that cell. But the disappointing thing was they didn't really stay that much time up there. They only did like one little thing and then they kind of climbed back down. Then Orton put McIntyre through the table. That looked like a devastating moment. It was setting up for Orton to go for the kill. McIntyre some way somehow got out, Claymore Orton, but he rolled out of the ring. Great ring awareness. Gets him back in the ring. Looks like he was going to go for a second Claymore. Orton rolls out of the way. And McIntyre falls to the three most devastating letters in WWE today. The RKO. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. Tom Phillips said it. Randy Orton is now a 14-time champion. He has tied Triple H for the second most ever in WWE history. Everybody knows the big watermark is 16 by Ric Flair and John Cena. Orton has tied Triple H for second most in WWE history, with this being his 14th time as the champion of the world. And Drew, he will most likely get an automatic rematch. There's no doubt about it. He deserves it for being former champion. But oh my goodness, the legend has killed the Scottish psychopath. And it is a dawning of a new era on Monday Night Raw. Anthony, the Age of Orton has arrived. The Apex Predator has your belt on your show.
Two things. Number one, are you gonna give us the your legendary Orton pose? I mean, I'll be surprised if you don't break it out. I know you got to be on cloud 9 right now on that.
Oh, I marked. I channeled my Backlash. I want to say it was 2007, 2008 again.
The backlash when he won it in that 6-man tag.
Yes.
That was 2009.
That was 2009.
2009.
Right here.
I was channeling that again.
Yeah.
I was there. I saw it, and I literally was doing the same reaction like I did when he won it in Providence that night. Yes! Yes! Just
life. Things are going well for you, man. I mean, think about this. I mean, your Atlanta Braves went on a surprise run. Your Dolphins are
they're doing all right. They're doing all right. Yeah, we're right there. We're right there.
You got a 500 Dolphin team. Michigan rolled over Minnesota last night, and now your boy Randy Orton once again the WWE champion. MF, things are going really well for you, man. So it's been a banner weekend so far for you. So,
oh yeah.
And I know this was your ultimate climax right here, seeing your man, the Legend Killer, do it one more time. And I only wish if they were going to do this, it should have been last month with the ambulance match. But it is what it is. But you notice when I arrived late on the scene, you notice I was a little hypertensive, and that's one of the reasons why I was not happy about this outcome. I mean, I should have gone with it. I should have. I kind of had a feeling in the back of my mind that Orton was going to do it, but with every time I had gone against Drew, he kept surprising me, and I thought they were going to surprise me one more time, but unfortunately, the dream ends here. What a great run for Drew McIntyre, winning the title at WrestleMania, beating Brock Lesnar. Damn shame it wasn't at Raymond James Stadium. It had to be in that Performance Center, but hey, at least he got his moment. That's all there is to say on that. But regardless, he's still my superstar of the year for 2020. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, winning the Rumble, beating Lesnar for the title at Mania, holding it for a good 6.5, 7 months. I mean, fantastic run. And But now I gotta do the professional thing here. I gotta get into this. So the great thing about all three Hell in a Cell matches tonight was they all felt completely different. This one was the most methodical and in some ways the most traditional. It had the classic spot where somebody crashed through a table from the side of the cage, plenty of weapons and a few finishers sprinkled in throughout. This was the weakest of the three Hell in a Cell bouts, but that doesn't mean it wasn't good on its own terms. However, this should not have been the main event, but it was one of their best encounters. Orton winning means this feud might continue for another month, but as great as a champion as Drew was, Drew McIntyre was actually better when he was chasing the title. So it might not be so bad if they have one more showdown, which might be on a future Raw. But, we'll have to wait and see on that because, Survivor Series is on the pipeline next. So, but nonetheless, I'm going to swallow my pride and I'm going to tip my hat to the son of a gun. Congratulations, Randy Orton and to MF and all the Orton marks out there. I mean, I know MF is the happiest of all of them. And this is a special moment for him, seeing his guy once again as the WWE champion. And those rumors about him and Edge possibly at WrestleMania and an I Quit match, I mean, it certainly looks good now, especially now that they put the belt on him. But yeah, great match though. I would probably say 4.25. The weakest of the Hell in a Cell matches, but not necessarily bad at all. It's just that the other two were just so much better. I mean, Bayley and Sasha, fun, very fun sprint with their spots, and Roman and Jay, obviously the most emotionally charged. So that's really all there is to say on that. Roman and Jay should have main evented. That's all we're saying. So, but anyways, 4 to 4.25 stars. There's nothing really more to say on this. But Drew McIntyre, you did us all proud, man. You certainly did me proud as the Raw guy here, and I'm glad. I'm very glad that he at least got a good run with it. I mean, that was a very good run. I mean, he held it he won it at Mania, and held it for a good 6.5 months or so, probably north of 200 days, maybe a little more than 200 days. I'll get the number in a moment, but nonetheless, great run, Drew. I'm proud of you. I pray to God one day you get another run, and hopefully it'll be just as good or even better than this one. Mark my words, friends. He's going to be champion again. I believe it. I believe it in my heart of hearts. He will be champion again. Maybe not this year, but I think sometime next year he will be a WWE champion one more time. So, nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, unfortunately, our dream ends. The dream of Drew McIntyre, our dream as McIntyre fans, it ends. But unfortunately, for Orton and the MF fans, they get to have their moment in the sun. MF gets to have his moment. So Bullock, let's get your thoughts on this. 4 to 4.25 stars, and unfortunately, the dream of Drew ends here tonight. Sad.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the dream run for Drew McIntyre ends tonight. 4 to 4.25. I do agree. I mean, by default, this was the weakest of the three Hell in a Cell matches, even though it wasn't even bad at all. Like you said, Florio, it's just the other two matches were just the other two Hell in a Cell matches were just better. So yeah, so now the question is, what's next for Orton now that he's the champion? Obviously, he's probably gonna have to defend it against McIntyre in a rematch. And if Orton's still champion, what does this mean for him in Survivor Series? We'll have to find out when we cross that path. So there's really nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Okay, out of everybody on the panel, I'm the only one who picked Orton to win this. Even the Orton guy didn't pick Orton to win this.
She's right, boys. She's right. Because I really had a concern that they were gonna keep it on McIntyre for a little while longer. So, but hey, I'm glad to be wrong. I'm happy I'm wrong. My boy's
Yeah.
the champion again.
Of course you are, big boy. And I forgot to ask him. I forgot to ask him, F. Are you happy? Do you like that?
Oh boy. Okay.
I'm not gonna interrupt on Didi, so no comment at the moment.
We know he's happy. We know he's celebrating. Okay. Uh, yeah. This was definitely not the best of the three, but it definitely had a payoff, and might not have been payoff everybody wanted, but it was a payoff that was still still good in the end anyway. I mean, we had two titles change hands tonight, so you know this was definitely. I would definitely give this one probably the 4 stars. Also, the girls were a tad bit better. I mean, they definitely was very physical with their match, and these guys, I mean, they did what, like you said, the traditional Hell in a Cell, coming on the outside, climbing to the top, uh, going through the announce table, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, not much more I'm going to add. I mean, it was a good ending for the pay per view, but at the same time, a little weak since you put your best first. So let's go and put the bow on it, I guess.
Solid pay per view event, to say the very least. Other than maybe 2 matches that were kind of meh, but the Hell in a Cell matches all delivered. Yeah, the Otis versus Miz was I guess a desirable outcome for most people. I don't know if I would say it was desirable, but whatever. And then with everything else that happened, this was a good match. This was a great event, solid night, and WWE did they did pretty well. Well done, guys. Well done. You did very good. So nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, give me a quick thought about give me a quick final thought about Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. I would probably give this about maybe a 7 out of 10. And the only reason why is because all 3 Hell in a Cell matches delivered. All the matches that were outside of Hell in a Cell really did not. I mean, those other 3 matches were all TV quality bouts at best. Matches you would see on Raw and on SmackDown. But it was a banner night for SmackDown. I mean, they had 2 of the 3 Hell in a Cell matches, and they were the top 2 fights of the night. Roman Reigns, Jay Uso, that was the fight of the night, 4.5 to 5. I mean, I could easily pull the trigger and give it 5 because of the emotion of it. The match was more 4.5, but 4.5 to 4.75. But the reason why I would give it 5 was because of the emotion, especially near the end when we saw that emotion out of Roman, which was absolutely amazing. That's what put it over the top. Bayley and Sasha, second best. That was 4.5. And then this one was a good 4 to 4.25 for those 3 Hell in a Cell matches. The other matches, TV quality at best, but only because all 3 Hell in a Cell matches delivered in one aspect or another. I'm going to be generous, and I'm going to give this a 7. And the other 3 matches would bring it down to about a 6, but 6 to 7. I think that's the correct rating, 6 to 7. So there's really nothing more to say. I got to get my notes ready for Bound for Glory. So Michael Bullock, a solid 6 to 7 for Hell in a Cell. The 3 Hell in a Cell matches delivered. The 3 matches outside of it, and not so much.
I'm actually going to go 7 to 7.5 for my rating. I mean, the 3 Hell in a Cell matches, they all delivered, no doubt about it. I mean, yeah. I mean, the other matches were okay, but not overly special. So yeah, I mean, there's really nothing more to say. This was definitely a good Hell in a Cell event. So, Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I can give it a solid 7, maybe going up to 7.5. The Hell in a Cell matches, they definitely were the best 3 in matches of the night. The Lashley versus Slapjack. There's no doubt that Lashley's going to retain that. I mean, it wasn't really worth even putting on the pay-per-view. That was more of a TV quality type match. But yeah, it was an all right pay-per-view. I mean, it definitely could have been restructured to maybe make it a little bit better than what it was, and definitely they needed to build up more hype behind some of the matches that they had for the night. So yeah, not much more I'm going to add. I mean, we had 2 title changes, like I said earlier, and that at least was a pretty good payoff compared to the storytelling and the drama that we had for the show. So not much more I'm going to add. So good night, guys.
All right, good night, Dee Dee. Thank you very much as always. And Michael Bullock, you can sit back and relax now because myself and Anthony Floyer are going to very quickly go through.
I'm actually gonna head out too, so I'll let
All
you
right.
two do your thing.
All right, very well. So, guys, now it is time that we do recap Bound for Glory. And with that, let's turn it over to Anthony Florio. He's got all of the results from last night's Bound for Glory pay-per-view event. It's all yours, Florio.
All right, thank you indeed, MF, and great job on that as always with the Hell in a Cell. And a special edition of the Tony's Take on this special edition of the Wrestling Forum. Last night, Impact Wrestling had their biggest show of the year, their WrestleMania, if you will, Bound for Glory, the 16th annual, an event that started back in 2005, and here we are 15 years later. And of course, this was the most unique one because for the first time ever, Bound for Glory was held without fans. It was held last night, as it's been held for the last several months since the pandemic started, of course. Their new home, Skyway Studios, Nashville, Tennessee, exclusively on pay-per-view. I ordered the event last night on the Fight TV. And there were a couple of issues with the stream during it, but not too serious or bad or anything like that. But anyways, let's get right on into it. There was a pre-show match. They actually had they had a countdown show. It was called Countdown to Glory. It aired on Access TV for all of you who have it. I have it, and I know MF doesn't, but it was streamed. But nonetheless, they had a pre-show match, and it was the Deaners squaring off against the Rascals, Wentz and Dez and Wentz rather. And the Deaners actually won the match in 3 minutes and 42 seconds. We're not going to speak on that. One interesting thing of note, though. Matt Stryker was on commentary for that match. Matt Stryker was the lead commentator. He worked with Don Callis, and I'll tell you, those two did a great job. And I'm hopeful that Matt Stryker will get more opportunities with Impact Wrestling. I guess he signed with them. So great signing indeed. I've always loved his work. So we're not going to get into that pre-show match. It was a garbage match anyway. It was a meh fight anyway. So let's get into the main card now. And we started it off with the six-way scramble for the X Division Championship. The champion, Rohit Raju, defending against Chris Bay, Trey Miguel, TJP, Jordan Grace, and Willie Mack. When all was said and done, the winner of the match, I don't have a time of the fall. I do apologize for that. So
I got 13:20.
There you go. 13 minutes, 20 seconds, winner of the match, and still the X Division champion. It was Rohit Raju. Rohit Raju retains the title, and I'll tell you, a surprising outcome. I mean, MF and I thought Jordan Grace was going to win the belt, but unfortunately that did not happen. But there was a little outside chance. I thought maybe Rohit was going to steal it, and that's what he did. Ultimate opportunist, and it was a well-worked bout, but nothing too different. What we're used to in Impact, TNA, opening X Division Spot Fest. And I like the finishing sequence, and I'm glad they're giving Rohit Raju a chance with the belt. You know, he's just getting started and on what I think he could do as champion. And not to mention he's doing a solid job as the cocky champion who's finding fluky but clever ways to escape with the belt. And breaking news, the Los Angeles Dodgers have just defeated the Tampa Bay Rays. They beat the Rays tonight 4-2 in Game 5. They take a 3-2 lead. Game 6 Tuesday night. One more win, and the Dodgers will be partying like it's 1988. So that's all there is to say on this. 3.5 stars. That's what I'm going to give this match. So nothing more to say. MF, surprise outcome. Rohit Raju keeps the belt. We all thought Jordan Grace was going to pull a Tessa Blanchard, but not on this night.
Yeah, not on this night. I was definitely surprised with the outcome, but you know what? I'm happy that for Raju to successfully defend the title. I mean that's a big win for him, no doubt about it, and that's a build. That's a building block for him. To win against five other great competitors in Impact Wrestling. I mean, you know, you have Willie Mack, who was a former X Division champion. TJP, a lot of people believe should be an X Division champion. Trey Miguel, same thing. Jordan Grace, Chris Bay. I mean, you got some heavy hitters in the X Division, and for him to walk out with the belt, props to him. Well done. Nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
All right, give me 1 second here. All right. I just had to tie up a loose end real quick. All right, next match of the night. I don't need the Wikipedia, MF. I got my own set of notes here since I saw the event last night.
All right.
Next up was the Call Your Shot Battle Royal. And it started with Rhino. And we had some surprise entrants in this match. The number 2 entrant, Sean Davari. Or as you might best remember him when he was previously in Impact, when he was known as Sheik Abdul Bashir. But Davari was in the match. And then from there, we had Larry D, Crazy Steve, AC Romero, Tennille Dashwood, Jessica Havoc, Brian Myers, Hornswoggle. Yes, Swoggle. He was in the match. Tommy Dreamer, paying tribute to Road Warrior Animal. Nice gesture on his part. You know the heart and soul that man has. Alicia Edwards, Taya Valkyrie, Falaba. Sorry about your damn luck. MF, you know who that is.
Yes, I do.
Your boy. He was back. The cowboy, James Storm. He returned. And then you had Adam Thornstowe and Luster the Legend of Reno Scum. Heath Slater. Sammy Callahan, surprise entrant. And then the final entrant was Sean Hernandez. The final 2 were Rhino and Sammy Callahan. And when all was said and done, the winner of the match, in a total time of 25 minutes and 22 seconds, it was Rhino. And because of Rhino winning, Heath Slater has got himself an Impact Wrestling contract. Now, MF, before I give it to you, there is one bit of news that came out of this. Heath Slater suffered a legitimate injury. And on top of that, I read a dirt sheet today saying that Heath was supposed to win the match. So, excuse me, nothing more to say. So, Rhino wins it 25-22. So, MF, I know this is out of all the matches, this will be the toughest one. Well, actually, there's another one that's going to be tough to rate, but this is one of 2 matches that's going to be very tough to rate. But how do you rate a match like this?
Yeah, I mean, it was really I guess you can call it like a battle royale. You can call it that way, but I mean, honestly, at least the right man won. Yeah, they had to pull an audible because of the fact that it looked like it was supposed to be Heath Slater to win it, but Rhino wins it. That means they're both safe. He gets the full contract. He gets to stay in Impact Wrestling. And I think it was, I don't mind that they had to do it. But my thoughts and prayers are with Heath Slater because it looked like that was a bad injury that he suffered. So, there's really nothing more to add, Flayo. I don't know how you could even rate that. So, I mean, we could just talk about it and then just move right along.
Maybe like a no rating, maybe?
Yeah, I could do no rating.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be a no rating, but I will say this: it was a solid battle royal with enough surprises and storyline to make it a match worth going through. I'm assuming a few are one-offs like Sean Davari or Swoggle, but I'm hopeful James Storm is someone who I would not mind seeing get another run in Impact. The guy's too damn good on the mic to not be on TV. Rhino winning makes sense, and I still wonder if there's a possibility that Slater turns on Rhino in the end. But what I assume is happening in the short term is maybe Rhino and Heath go after the World Tag Team titles. That should be a good run, and I really think it's another chance for Rhino to shine, given that he had the best run of his career as the lovable crackers and cheese guy. But but nonetheless, that's what happened. This is the other match that's going to be tough to rate. EC3 versus Moose from an undisclosed location. It was a cinematic match. Moose won the match in 9 minutes and 49 seconds. It was there. It wasn't horrible, but I'm not sure what we were supposed to get out of it. The cinematic approach and the background music, which sounded like club music, really detracted from the bout and was totally unnecessary. Cinematics are supposed to enhance or streamline bouts, but here it was a bit too contrived. Impact just couldn't help themselves. They were too cute and they added background music where it really wasn't needed. When it comes to cinematic techniques being used to enhance a match, an example of that was Gargano and Ciampa on NXT and Velveteen Dream and Adam Cole when they had that parking lot brawl at Takeover in Your House. Didn't come over as overproduced. And cinematics should be about telling a story, not about how many Adobe After Effects bells and whistles you can throw onto a file. But 9 minutes 49 seconds, it was a no rating match. So MF, a quick thought on this undisclosed location about Moose and EC3, another no rating from me.
I agree with that. It is a no rating for me. I thought it was a solid match. It was a good match, but like you said, there was too many bells and whistles and everything else. It kind of detracted from the match. It was fine for what it was worth, but I'm not writing a lot home on it. So nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
All right, and then from there, uh, we had um, we had Eddie Edwards squaring off against the brand new Impact Wrestling Hall of Famer Ken Shamrock. Sammy Callahan was in Ken Shamrock's corner. Ken Shamrock won the match via the ankle lock submission, 12 minutes and 32 seconds. Now, MF, also on the Countdown show, they had Shamrock's Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Matt Stryker was the master of ceremonies, and what was really cool was The Rock. Yes, The Rock, who you remember. You remember the wars that Rock and Shamrock had
Yes, he did.
back in '97 and '98 when they had that great feud over the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship um, and the King of the Ring. Let's not forget that. But The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he appeared via satellite with some very nice words for Ken Shamrock. But then again, he wasn't the only one. I mean, they have Bret Hart did a video, Mick Foley did a video as well. Um, but it was The Rock who ultimately inducted him, and what a night for Ken Shamrock. And at first, he goes into the Impact Hall of Fame, and he beats Eddie Edwards in 12 and a half minutes. So a big night for the world's most dangerous man.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna say, as far as the Hall of Fame thing goes, I thought this was actually really well done. I was very
Mm.
happy with it. To see The Rock do it, for Foley to say something about him. I
And Bret
mean,
Hart, too.
and Bret Hart. I mean, that's a Mount Rushmore of
Oh,
some of the greatest wrestlers to honor you and give you
exactly.
that type of accolade. Not bad for a guy who started his professional career as a UFC fighter,
Oh, yeah.
and to turn that into to having a very successful wrestling career, to say the very least. So I mean, yeah, this was well deserved and a great honor for him. And then to beat Eddie Edwards, a former Impact World Champion. I mean,
Twice.
that's a major feather in the cap for Ken Shamrock. And this was an all right match. I'm not gonna say it was the greatest match. It was a good match. It was solid. It was about maybe, I want to say 2.5 stars. So I mean, it was well done. And Ken Shamrock, congratulations on all the success, the Hall of Fame, and winning on Bound for Glory, the biggest event of the year. It's yours, Florio.
I'm actually going to be a little more generous on this. I'm going to give this a 3.25 star match. Of course, you're not going to beat somebody the night they go in the Hall of Fame. This was a real throwback style of a bout that I liked a lot. Something different than what we usually see on Impact Wrestling, and but yeah, congratulations, Ken Shamrock. Well deserved honor. I mean, great success in WWE, Intercontinental Champion, Tag Team Champion with the late great Big Boss Man Ray Traylor, 1998 King of the Ring. So great career in WWE. Of course, in Impact, he was the very first TNA Impact Heavyweight Champion when he was the NWA Heavyweight Champion. When he won it on that very first show in 2002, when he won that Battle Royale, when he beat Malice to win it. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was the referee. So I'll never forget that. So a big moment for Ken Shamrock. So congratulations to the world's most dangerous man. All right. Fatal 4-way match for the Impact World Tag Team Championship. Champions, the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley squaring off against the North, Ethan Page and Josh Alexander, the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, and Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. Winners of the match in 14 minutes and 26 seconds. 14 minutes and 26 seconds. And new Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Champions, Ethan Page, Josh Alexander, the North. They regained the titles. Wow. 3.75 stars. The only nitpick I have is Alex Shelley. I mean, they rode him out of the match. They buried him at the start of the match. They had him taken out. Chris Sabin had to go in all alone. Pity there was no Alex Shelley in that match. Otherwise, the rating would have been even higher. But Sabin put in enough effort for at least 3 guys. Great stuff from all involved. And as expected, given the talents involved, this was a fun tag team bout. I'm not sure why they wrote Alex Shelley out of it. I pray he's doing all right. I'm praying for immediate healing for him. Him being written out of the match ended up leading to the fun story of Chris Sabin fighting from behind. MF and I remember that from that legendary Raw Roulette episode of Monday Night Raw where it was Kane who fought all alone, and he won the match, but not this time around. But Sabin did a solid job selling for a majority of the bout. If the Guns are sticking around in Impact, I wouldn't mind seeing this lead to a series of singles feuds between these 4 teams, which can lead to some entertaining stories and bouts, and maybe even throw in Heath and Rhino, provided that Heat's okay. So that's really all I can say on this. 3.75 stars. One of my top fights of the night for sure. But MF, the North, longest running champions. They dropped them to the Machine Guns on that Impact After Slammiversary. But the North, they regained the titles 14.5 minutes.
Yeah, what a match. What a moment for them. Congratulations to the North. That's as good as you can get. And to do it the way that they did it, yeah, 3.25 stars for me as well. Great matchup. Really nothing more to say. Florio, what's yours?
I gave it 3.75, but that's fine. Knockouts championship on the line. The champion, Deonna Purrazzo, Kimberly in her corner. It was supposed to be against Kylie Ray, but Kylie Ray was not there. From what we've been hearing, she suffered. I guess they're saying she suffered some sort of undisclosed injury that we had no idea about, or maybe it was unforeseen circumstances. I don't know, but they're saying it's an undisclosed injury. We'll definitely keep an eye on it, and if anything else comes in, we'll let you all know. But unfortunately, Smiley Kylie was out. Su Yung was in. Oh no. Oh no. And that's what Deonna was saying. Deonna was saying, "Oh no, oh no." Well, you had more of a reason to say, "Oh no, darling." Winner of the match in 15 minutes and 5 seconds, and new Impact Knockouts champion, Su Yung. OMF. The Knockouts division has just been put on notice and then some. Su Yung, the new Knockouts champion. We're wondering if Smiley Kylie had been in this position, would she have won the belt? I don't know.
Oh my god. Su Yung is Knockouts champion. This is, oh man, this is scary. This is absolutely positively scary, and man, what a crazy, crazy thing we got. Yeah, there's really nothing more to say. This was an excellent match. What a title match, no doubt about it. I gotta say, this was a very good title match. I'm gonna say 3.5 stars. I thought this was an excellent match. There's really nothing more to add here, so I got nothing more to add. Anthony, it's yours. Crowning of a new champion.
Crowning of a new champion, indeed, a surprising new champion. But then again, as great as the match was, a lot of people on social media was ripping Impact for. They were still promoting the match as Deonna Purrazzo and Kylie Ray. They even had the video package. They even aired that. And we were ready. I mean, they played Kylie's music. We thought she was coming out, but she didn't come out. And I was like, okay, what's going on here? I thought maybe there was an angle. I thought maybe somebody had laid her out or something, but no. Undisclosed injury. So that's all I know for right now. But nonetheless, Kylie's absence leads to a different version of her best friend winning the Knockouts Championship. And Kylie, I mean, apparently there was some Indianapolis shows. I guess something might have happened during those, maybe.
Oh, I know what it is.
COVID?
Yes. I know about, yes, it's a COVID thing. Basically what happened, it's GCW. That's Joey Janela's company. She competed in a show over there, and there was a guy, nobody knew about it, that had positive for COVID-19, so they probably were protecting her.
That has to be.
That has to be it.
Yeah,
When you said Indianapolis, I'm like, oh, wait. I think I remember. I think I know this. I think I know what you're talking about.
F4W, Wrestling Observer, Meltzer, and all them.
Yep.
They had a new report with some additional details regarding the Kylie Ray situation. According to that report, the outlet was later informed that the story of Kylie Ray being injured was "quote unquote" not the case with what happened. The initial report by the outlet noted that Ray withdrew from the show due to a minor injury that reportedly wasn't serious, and Impact continued promoting her match with the Deonna Purrazzo for the show all the way up to when the match was scheduled to take place. However, the report has since been updated, with the Wrestling Observer now stating that sources have confirmed that Impact made no announcement on the Knockouts title match change yet because they were unaware with regards to the Kylie situation at the time. The rumor of her being injured, though, is now said to be inaccurate. The report also notes, much like Fightful did earlier, that Kylie Ray arrived in Nashville on Friday, supposedly ready to work. However, she did not make it into the Skyway Studios building yesterday. And Kylie Ray previously signed a long-term contract with Impact earlier this year. So, yeah, but we're going to really, really have to keep an eye on this. But that's what they're saying. So, all the best to her. And as far as this match goes, 3.25 to 3.5 stars. That's my rating for that. Surprising outcome. I mean, it was a really good women's title match and a strong return for the Su Yung character. It is a little questionable as to why they took the title away from Deonna after her first title defense on pay-per-view, but the match was good enough to deter those questions. The key here now is how they present Su Yung moving forward. Su Yung has the potential to be one of the hottest wrestlers in Impact, and you know, I'm afraid their creative is going to sabotage her awesome character with that BS Undead Realm magic stuff. Don't ruin Su Yung again, Impact. Let this extremely talented wrestler shine through her own ability and merits and not use her as a conduit to exhibit production techniques that don't push any needles. And before we get to the main event, MF, a big announcement went down last night. Not only that their next pay-per-view event will not be until the 1st of 2021, which is hard to kill, January the 16th of 2021. But the big announcement, MF, and I'd like to get a quick thought from you if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Yes.
The Knockouts tag team titles are coming back. What do you say?
I am very excited with that decision. I think a lot of people were surprised to hear it, And I must say that I am, for one, very excited to see that title come back. It's well deserved. It's a great honor. And yeah, this is going to be excellent. I'm very excited to hear that this belt is coming back. So yeah, nothing more to say, Anthony. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, I agree. Big moment for that. Big moment for the knockouts. I mean, we do have a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of tag teams now, and you finally have enough tag teams to work with. I mean, you have Deanna Perrazzo and Kimberly. You could use them. You could also use Jessica Havoc and Nevaeh. You could use them. You could also use Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steeles. There's another team. You could even also use Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie.
They were even hinting about it on their social media after the announcement. So yeah, there's definitely a very good chance we could see them working together, possibly going after that belt. Yes.
That's at least four. That's four legitimate female tag teams. Unless you want to throw in Susie/Sue Young and Kylie Ray, I mean that would be five right there. So
Yep.
we're just gonna have to wait and see. But my early favorites to win those belts are Deanna Perrazzo and Kimberly. Those are my early favorites. So we'll have to wait and see. But now it's time for the main event. World Heavyweight Championship on the line. The champion, the world class maniac Eric Young, defending against Rich Swann, the winner of the match, in 21 minutes and 31 seconds, and new Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, Rich Swann. Can't handle this, can't handle this. Yeah, I mean, I always think back to that awesome entrance theme he had in WWE when he was the cruiserweight champion in the early years of 205 Live, and this one, this one definitely hits home for me because this was a guy who came out of 205 Live, someone that I was very high on when he was on Monday Night Raw, when Monday Night Raw had the cruiserweight division, when they brought the brand extension back in 2016, and he was a big part of it, and he had a nice run with the cruiserweight title, held it for a good couple of months or so, and now here he is, the world heavyweight champion. Oh my God, that is awesome, man! I am so happy for this guy. Fight of the night, solid 4 stars, maybe 4.25. Storybook ending for Rich Swann. The locker room came out to celebrate. This is what I was kind of hoping to see that when Kofi won at WrestleMania 35. I was hoping to see that, but they didn't do it. But these guys did. Promotions typically like to end their biggest show of the year with the happy ending. The babyface that's been put through so much hell and BS over the past several months, rising to the occasion and overcoming the despicable heel. Storytelling 101, and that's exactly what Impact did here. Damn good match too. I mean, the match had high expectations and met those expectations. Rich Swann is one of the most reliable on that end, but there should also be some credit to EY for putting on strong performances since he returned to Impact. It's a shame we couldn't get more feuds from Young as champion before he dropped the belt to Rich, but I'll hold judgment on this until we see where they go forward with Rich Swann. Maybe they have some fun things in store down the line, and maybe they even put the belt back on EY as soon as EY seeks revenge. But nonetheless, it's another history-made moment. I mean, this is a big history-making moment here, and man, what a great moment for him. I mean, I'm so damn happy for him. I mean, like I said, this one hits very close for me, considering he was a cruiserweight. He was in the Cruiserweight Classic, and 205 Live. He was a big part of that in the early going of that, and a former cruiserweight champion, had a solid run with it, and a guy who I've always admired for his athletic ability and his moves, and so, man, what a moment for him. Great story. So, congratulations, Rich Swann. I am so proud of you, brother. You damn sure deserve it. I don't know what else there is for me to say, except this is somewhat of a proud papa moment for me. So, oh man, so nothing really more to say. So, well, there is one thing. Some of you may not know this. MF and I know this. I don't know about any of you guys out there, but Rich Swann and Sue Young are married in real life. So do you know what that means? We have ourselves a legitimate power couple in Impact Wrestling, because Rick Swann is the World Heavyweight Champion, and his wife, Su Yung, is now the Knockouts Champion. So we've got a husband and wife pair of world champions in Impact Wrestling. Before the Garganos. Go figure that. That's freaking awesome. So nothing more to say. 4.25 stars. Fight of the night for me. MF, I mean, we called for the feel-good moment. We got the feel-good moment. Nothing left for me to say. Prop Papa moment for me. I am so damn happy for this guy. He damn sure deserves it.
Yeah, this was a great moment, no doubt about it. A great matchup, great main event. 3.75 to 4 stars. And props to Impact for pulling the trigger and crowning a new champion. So, all in all, a great night. Anthony, let's just wrap it up.
All right, MF. Now, first off, did you see the event? First off,
I did get to see a little bit of the event. I had to go through various means to do it. I was working, so I did miss at least most of the event, but I was able to catch it the tail end, and I did see Rich Swann winning the belt. So, yes, I did see it.
nice. So, quick overall thought?
I thought it was a good show. I thought it was a very good show. I thought it was a very good event. I could give this a solid 7. It could have been a lot better in certain areas, but I thought they did all in all a good night. So props to Impact Wrestling and props to them. I think they did a really good job with it.
7 and I'm actually gonna give it 7.5. Impact found a few bumps in the road heading into this event. The production definitely had some issues early, though those problems were fixed as the night went on. The injury to Heath put a kink in things. Changes to a couple of bouts were not ideal, but they ended up working out pretty well. The story of Impact's 2020 has been overcoming obstacles, and that's exactly what they did last night. Rough start led to a decent ending, and I'll give them credit for their effort here. It would have been better with some matches going the way they should have, but nonetheless, main event was the fight of the night. The tag team title match was great. The 3 title matches, that's what really made this show last night. And the 3 main events, I should say. So really nothing more to say on this. 7.5 for me. So there's really nothing more to say. So MF, let's put the bow on the night and set up for what's going to be another exciting week of content here on our family of networks.
All right, and indeed we will. So tomorrow night is Ridiculously Raw, hosted by Anthony Florio. The fallout from tonight's Hell in a Cell and what's going to happen on the Raw brand. What are they going to do? On Wednesday is Wednesday Night Mayhem, as always. AEW and NXT. Thursday, we're going to have a big show as well, as it will be Thursday, it's going to be college football Thursday, as always. So we're going to have a lot of action. Friday is Cerebral Smack Talk. And then 1 week, and on Saturday, NFL Saturday. So we got a lot coming up. There's really nothing more to add. So thank you, Anthony Florio, as always. Thank you, Michael Bullock, Dee Woodson. And thank you guys, as always, for watching this. I know it's a long show, but we got it done. So like the video, leave a comment at the bottom, share with all your friends on all the social media platforms around the world. Have a good night, everybody. So long for now, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Goodbye.